Isn't that beautiful? That was the opening 8 measures of Gabriel Fauré's Barcarolle number 9 in A minor. This is a late piece, it's opus 101. It was written in the later part of Fauré's life. He was in his early 60s. It was actually premiered in 1909 by the famous pianist Marguerite Long, who was one of the chief protagonists of his playing. She premiered a lot of his works and made it more available to the public's knowledge of its existence. It's a barcarolle, a boat song. And a boat song has a rocking motion of the boat. You feel the waves. It's a little uneasy. And this one is in 9/8 time. It's a compound meter of 3/3/3. All of the 13 barcarolles, with the exception of one, are in compound meters, either 6/8 or 9/8 time. This piece is really a splendid compositional demonstration of taking a part A and a part B and infinite variations on that. I'm going to play for you the opening in 9/8 time. The soprano begins. We're in A minor, and the A minor 5-finger pattern would be this, and he is starting on the 5th note of that A minor tonality. And then coming down. That's the first 2 measures. Then there is a repeat 2 measures later that's almost identical, and I'll count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, tied to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a little variation on the second of the 2 measures. Then he has the part B, the consequent, which outlines similar notes of the A minor 5-finger pattern, climbing up to the D, which is the subdominant, and its repeat, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. This is the 5-page chart. This is page 1 of 5 pages, which I have re-engraved in this format of the 11 inches by 17 inches wide horizontal format. This is the only place in the world you can get it like this, see it this way, and study it this way. And I found it extraordinarily helpful in learning this piece to have been able to work from this version, which you can get yourself from my website, sallychristianmusic.com, as digital downloads. You get this 5-page working copy and then another additional supplement, which we'll get to in a little bit. But looking at our page 1, these are the systems, 2, 3, and 4 on one page. And the opening 8 measures, I was able to get all on the first system. Splendid. It's just not possible otherwise in this long, long width here. It's just marvelous. And you can see this is the midway point, the first 4 measures of part A, the antecedent, and here are the last 4 measures, part B, of the consequent. And those 2 4-measure phrases work as a pair to make the complete 8-measure subject. Already that's interesting. To further interest the matters, within the 4 measures, he's divided it again in half. The first 2 measures, and then the repetition has a little variety, a little variation. In this case, the tied note. Same with this. The 4 measures is divided into 2 and 2. So now let's take a look at what's going on with the other part. This is 4-part harmony, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and you would think it would always be those soprano and alto in the right hand, tenor and bass in the left hand, but not with Fauré. He's giving an enormous amount of surprises and unique features that I've never seen any other composer do. So right away in measure 1, The bass is the opening outline of the fifth of A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Simple. That's your part A. Now your part B goes up. That's C major. It's the relative major of A minor. And then falls to A minor. C major tonality, A minor tonality. Now I'm going to play hands together, and when I get to the tie with the repetition in measures 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, I'm going to nod my head and give a little clue, because that's the tied downbeat for the variation. Here's from the top. Gives a little delay, and it's that thing, that uneasiness right away. We're not on solid ground. We're on the water, rocking. And you know, if you've ever been on a boat, there's no predictability with the waves and the currents. And they come in off things, they throw you off balance, they're unexpected. That's what this piece is. Now going on to the second system is our first episode. Let me just play that first so you can see what's coming. Right away, listen to this. Does that sound like A minor? Well, it's already reaching out. Now listen to this. Now comes this beautiful trio between the soprano, the alto, and the tenor. Was repetition of material, repeat down a step, and down one more step. This is called a sequence. Now this is your episode sequence motive right here. When you hear this, that's still the fifth, isn't it, of A minor, but when you play this chord, first inversion of E major. It's a new key. So briefly he has modulated, that's what an episode does, is modulate to a new key, and we are reinforced with the bass, with the E, 5-1, B-E of the new key. Now going on, we have our part A again and our part B again. Now we have it, instead of in the soprano, in the tenor. Measure 15. I'm going to play as written. And listen for the outline, which was identical to the beginning. Let me play that actually first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The repetition. No tie this time. So where's the variation? It's in the other parts. Let me play it together and listen for that variation. What's happening to my right hand here? Repetition. So what we had in the soprano, that's melodic minor, of A melodic minor. He's always going to be coming back to the home key of A minor. And he's going to be putting new harmonies, new textures, new motives over as overlapping textures and complexities over this A minor. It's really a splendid piece. So that was the soprano, outlining the steps of the A melodic minor, and then repeating up the octave, and then the repetition. Same thing. The alto is the repetition. It's repeating part A, and he repeats it again here, but it's buried. Isn't that beautiful? The two parts, the soprano going up and the alto. See, two things going on at one time. Now let me play the whole thing as written. Constantly be listening to the yum, ba-dee, da-dee, short, long, short, long, short, long. That's your template of the Barcarolle and that rocking movement. Repetition. That was part A, now comes part B. Going to be C major? Well, that takes us to the top of page 2. And what we have in the soprano? More part A. 4 measures of part A. Let me play this. This is the soprano and the alto now joined in unison, an octave apart. The repetition. There's more to it. In the repetition, we get this chord, that added B flat. That's going to change. That's going to jump out and jolt you, especially when you hear what he's doing with the counterpoint in the tenor. Fauré was a splendid keyboard player, organist. He played at the Church of the Madeleine for years, prominent position. He was a very expanded musician, composer, pianist, organist, and he had a fabulous left hand. His left hand and his right hand were equally developed. Some people say it was because he was ambidextrous. I believe that any great keyboard player is going to become ambidextrous if you have really developed facility. Both hands should be rather equal. But he's going to, in his compositions, favor this left hand many, many times. He'll take a prominent part or a complex part in the left hand. And this is your first example of that. It's actually 2 parts, but the tenor is an ascending line. Is your melodic minor, A, for the ending, but what's this? Is that, remember that B flat? What's he doing here? And then on the repetition, this is really something. But the bass joins too, so as written, this is what we have, that low C in the bass. And what I love about this playing this piece is that it's expansive. We're using the entire keyboard, and we have to really open our body and open our arms to even play these things. Like second position for a dancer. Breathe. As written, left hand alone. Together. This is the 4 measures of part A. So what that was our melody in syncopation. Our part B, instead of like that, he's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3 on the offbeats. And then in unison. And the alto has this wonderful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 up the octave. And now this motive, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's taking all by itself. And I re-engraved the piece to show this. Now I have some colors in here. I always use pink for soprano, yellow for alto, turquoise for tenor, and green for bass. Yours comes plain, no colors. You can go ahead and mark yours with colored pencil if you like. But I find with any type of contrapuntal writing, that color voice analysis is extremely helpful because I can really follow and see who is doing what. And the colors make it pop out. You can see this beautiful yellow for the alto with this here and here. And then using that as a connector single measure. Now who's going to do that? Very unusual. It's a breath. It's a little tiny breath because this starts the next 4-measure episode. This is the part A 4 measures. This is the part B. Do you see the absolute predictability of form, but the unpredictability of how he's adding extra parts and extra interest? So we haven't talked about what the bass is doing here on the part B. Listen to these gorgeous scales. This is a little unconventional sounding. It's harmonies. Repetition. Same thing, and up again. Now those notes, F sharp, D sharp, and again up the octave, are on the beats 7, 8, 9. Now let me put this all together and you'll see by emphasizing with these dissonant harmonies, that's what we have with the bass and the alto. That's so gorgeous. Here we are, everybody together. Which is how the episodes always end, with that E major. So we had parallel, this beautiful descending parallel thirds. That's actually with one hand, soprano, alto together. Broken now, broken off as the thirds are still in there, but we're going to get along with it and together. Isn't that gorgeous? The bass is doing these beautiful sweeping chordal expanded chords. Listen. Slowly. Down. And the variation. See, it's like dancing. This whole thing, just every possible way of what waves do is how I hear it. All right, what do waves do? They dance, they sweep. They do a lot more, and we'll find out in just a minute. Now, the end of our page 2 with the episode motive. Now, this changes right here. There's that B flat again we saw on the other page. This right up here. So this B flat comes in again in the most ominous way. Listen to this. This is our melody now, in the tenor, of course. Top of page 3. How different that sounds than the opening. And under it is our A minor in the bass, just the open fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You put those parts together, that's a ninth, flatted ninth. It's a dissonant, it's a disturbing harmony. Listen to this. I'm actually just going to play the left hand alone as written. Repetition. Yeah, those were identical. So where's the variation? Of course, in the other hand. So here it is now. This is actually very interesting. These are what I call garlands or phantoms or apparitions or mist. Every one of these are very, very light and delicate and unusual chordal combinations. That's your chord, locked. Now this chord. Here's your variation. Same one, but way up high. And then the final. Now what I did in my music, which I highly recommend in learning this, and I will say with this addition, every one of these systems is a start point. It's built in for your learning and your security. The fingerings are all written for you so you can start out of context at any one of these spots, know where you are in the piece. You'll have such incredible security, and I've also built-in lesson plan for you in your practicing. If you only have 20 minutes to practice instead of your 2 hours or 3 hours, just take one system, but learn it well. Take your right hand alone and really digest this like I'm going to show you now. I circled in this measure 36, a pink circle around the G. That makes a broken third. Next measure I circled the G, but it makes a broken fourth. The next measure I circled the D, it's a fifth. Then I circled the B natural, it's a sixth. Now trying to track those and remember which comes where, broken third, broken fourth, broken fifth, broken sixth. Voila! Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. There's your template. That's how you can remember it. And you can actually track what he's doing. Let's put the hands together here. I don't think I've done that yet. If I did, I'm going to do it again. It's so beautiful. Now comes our part B, soprano. Well, that was exactly in the original form. The repetition, duet between soprano and tenor. The bass is doing these syncopations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. But the alto gets this part. this is just amazing. This chromaticism which goes along with it. That. So we're expanding. We're going deep. We're going dark. Some musicologists have described Debussy's music as going into the underworld of our psyches. Well, I think that applies here. This is deep and dark and going to places we normally don't want to go in our psyche. It's a little frightening. Listen to this. Chromatic scale. Let's put that all together. That's difficult. You'll need to work on that a lot. Now, this is just explosive. And I was talking about a little disturbing. This is very disturbing. It's an augmented chord that shrieks onto the scene. Listen to that. Still has the A minor outline, but how different that is. Underneath that, he's playing a whole tone scale outline. Pretty out there, isn't it? There are two whole tone scales. And he's taking this one. And if you take the first, third, and fifth note of that scale, there's your augmented triad. Show you what else you get with your chart. It's a great pleasure to show this to you today. I'm ecstatic about this. I really couldn't believe what was in this piece until I made the satellite view. I first started with this 2-page black and white version, which you get in your supplies. It's the entire piece. And then, as I like to do, working in color, I wanted to really understand for myself how many times he's using the antecedent part A and the consequent part B and the episodes. I couldn't really understand it fully until I put the color satellite view version that you get, and I made a key code. I took red for all of the part A's, and I took green for the part B's, and I put blue for the episode passages, of which there are 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now where we are right now in the piece with this augmented triad is here, the top of our page 2 satellite view. We've already done half of the piece already. And I want to show you what we have just done, the absolute regularity of composition, 4 measures part A, 4 measures part B, episode as spacer and modulatory to the E major. Part A 4 measures, part B 4 measures, part A 4 measures. This is in unison with duet, doubled the part A. Part B with these marvelous ascending runs, episode. And here we came with that minor ninth, everything dark and turgid 4 measures. And here is what I just finished with these marvelous alto chromatic passages spinning out, leading to this explosive part A. And what do you see? Only 2 measures. For the first time, he's breaking out of the 4 and 4. And he's taking the difference. Instead of 4 and 4, he's going 2 and 6. So now our part B has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures, a final episode. And then we get into my favorite part of the piece here, which I'll show you in the music, but let's first see with what comes after this 2-measure augmented chord and whole tone scale work that he's giving. Let's do that one more time. I recommend slow practice. You really want these harmonies to seep into your ears. Very important. So now we have our part B, 6 measures long, in the alto. How can he do that? And then the answers with the tenor. After all of that agitated, disturbing whole tone, augmented tonalities, he's dropping right back into the traditional and predictable A minor. Well, you might ask yourself, why is he doing this? What's going on? Is this pretty extreme shifts of mood? And I'll tell you why. Fauré was going deaf. He was a tortured soul in the last 20 years of his life. It must have been a ghastly existence for him because he constantly heard impedance of shriekings and piercing noises and shrill tones. He had no peace. He was bombarded with these sounds in his brain and they wouldn't stop. And his only antidote was to write equally disturbing things in his music. I think that's my interpretation. And that's a perfect example of somebody that's taking the hand that they were dealt in life and making the best of it. And what did he do? He turned around and wrote these magnificent compositions. There's so much late Fauré, which is, I think, some of the most stunning music ever written. So now we're going on to our part B. We're back, calming down a little bit. Alto, tenor finishes. Now this is a sequence. He's going to repeat the same thing now. Tenor. Last 2 measures. Climbing, 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 climbing. Where is he going? The bottom, the bass, has these open fifths on the offbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. There's a wave right there. Beautiful. Jumping out. Open fifth. Another wave. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's put that all together. You know something wonderful is coming. Starting piano. That beautiful F major is echoed in the soprano, going on. B flat major, echoed in the soprano. Now joining. This is so beautiful with the alto. And all the parts. Top of page 4, our final episode. I call this Pearls from Heaven. Isn't that gorgeous? So he's got the soprano coming up. Episode, ya, da, 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 and it repeats on the variation. Little variation. Da, 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 da. Now the tenor here is way up here. Never seen that before. Listen to it. And then it goes way down here. So if we put soprano and tenor together, this is what we have. This is the 3rd episode, and he's giving so much in these 4 measures. I haven't even talked about the alto yet. The duet. That's beautiful. Now a contrary motion that was in the tenor in the first two measures of our episode, he does again in the alto in the next two measures. And what I'm going to do, I'm showing you the music here. This is where we are working here, our last episode. And when I first read this passage, first time I came across this piece years ago, not that long ago really, about 2-3 years ago, when I got to this passage, my eyes just popped right out of my head. I said, this can't be possible that somebody would think of this. How am I going to do this? What he's done here, if I separate those two parts, this is what's in there. I had to separate the bottom part down an octave so you could hear it, because what it really is this. When I learned it, I played it as third, second, third, second, third, second, third, second, third, second. And fast, that's going to be this drawer motion where you slide on the wrists. Marat taught me that with the Chopin Etude, Opus 10 number 7. That motion, that's what applies here. So, but in there is very difficult. So our last episode as written. E major, repetition. Isn't that gorgeous? That has a setup for this exquisite part that's coming now. And back to the chart of the satellite view in color. After all of that, he's fully engaged. He's fully blooming with creative ideas. And he's expanding now in many, many ways, including the length of these parts. Now part A is expanded into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures instead of 4. And they answer part B also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Part B. Now what he's giving us. Are you ready for this? This is a canon. The soprano. Those are the first two measures. Then he steps up to the F sharp. This is a sequence also. Where is he going? Up another step. Well, I said it was a canon. So that means another voice has to be saying the same thing. And it is. It's in the tenor. But it's in a stretto. And what that means is before the soprano finishes the full statement, the tenor comes jumping right in on the fourth beat. Like this. See, they're playing leapfrog. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Now around that are all these garlands, embellishments, beautiful, beautiful accompanying harmonies and passage work. I'm going to play it slowly first. Breathe. Always breathe. In performance you're going to breathe. This is the start point. You're starting your expanded six measures part A, 6 measures part B. Fill your lungs with air. Up a step. the most amazing 6 measures coming up. So now we're starting the part B. Remember I said this is extended, it's 6 measures long. Now our original part B is that. You have to keep coming back to the original to appreciate what he's doing here. Listen to this. Oh, that's so disturbing. There it is. So he's starting with this. There's our A minor. As we recognize it. Now, this is a sequence. He's going to do it here. I'm redistributing now, soprano and alto. This is all played with the right hand. But for the lesson, one more. Now, all with the right hand. Now, in here, that's it, in the original form. But what goes around is just not to be believed. Let's take a look at the bass here. Remember, he was an organist, and these are the kind of harmonies that he could have gotten on the pipe organ using the pedals. I'm going to play this as redistribution block chord. The 2 hands, this is really all in the left hand part, but this is blocked chord. That's organ. Can't you hear the big pipes coming out doing this? All over the map. Now listen to these clusters. Oh my gosh. Those are whole tone scales. Clusters. Oh, this is just magnificent. So as written, this is what we're doing. These are, again, these lapping waves, and all based on our part B. This is the accompaniment, or counterpoint. All in the offbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, it's complicated. It's always on the off. Little breath. Now, duet. Too close. Now, you will not believe what he's really doing here. And I'm putting my pages 4 and 5 apart here so I can go right into the top of page 5 with the splendid surprise we have. How could you do that? It's the top of the mountain. Repeat, down an octave. Is he going to F major? Alas, no. Right back, couldn't break out. This is a very sad piece. What was that? A melodic minor. Original part B. See, without all of these extra things, that would get very tedious, hearing that same mantra over and over again. But not with everything he's doing. In fact, you don't even know it's in there sometimes. Here we are, we're coming to the close of the piece. Even that. Both hands. The repetition. Different. Now listen. Ends in C major. C major triad in the left and a 5-finger pattern in the right. How simple. Would you think of that? me play the whole thing again. This is so marvelous. Again, these are the 4 measures of our part B. This was expanded. 2 more of our part B. I have to show you this satellite view because this further highlights the magnificence of that F major. We have the 2 measures in red of the augmented. We have the 2 measures in green of the part B, which is really the finish of this entire section of Canon and Stretto, and these gorgeous organ tonalities. The whole tone clusters are all leading to those 2 measures here. That's the pivotal point of the piece, as far as I'm concerned. Now we're winding down with these gorgeous A melodic minor cascade going up, C major cascade going up. Those are the 2 tonalities we had at the very beginning, A minor and C major. Let's do this now one more time, hands together, because then we're coming to the coda. Breathe. Start point, right here. Know this. Be able to start it just out of the blue, cold. You know your position. Oh yeah, that's easy. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a 5th in the right hand, the A minor, and an F major, because we're still coming off of that F major. Still keeping that. Even the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Emphasizing that F. He doesn't want to leave it yet. The repeat. 1. Hey, different. Know that. Those are the details. Together, hands. Coda. Now listen to this. This is part A, altered. Remember, it goes, well, where he's putting the A will amaze you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down here. But the notes are all there of our opening part A, just in a different rhythm and a different placement. Different voices. This is imaginative. This is breakthrough. What is that? Now, variation. Love that part. The soprano has these garlands. 2, and 4 comes out. And all together. He's saying goodbye. Part B goes, right? But he's going to delay this. Listen to how he does this. That's disturbing. Second time. Third time. Time. Still haven't had the full statement. A minor triad, A minor, nothing but the 2 keys, A and E in the bass, as an arpeggio. Totally open, just the white keys, our home key, but we still haven't heard the full repetition yet of our opening material. Time. Now here it is. over that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's funereal, isn't it? To hold that last chord that long. And over that we have the tonality of, that's our tonic, A, the 6th scale degree, the 5th scale degree, and I'll bring out this C with the 4th finger, give a little pressure there so we hear that tonality. So I've really felt a privilege it has been for me today to give the lesson and share this with you. I discovered Gabriel Fauré when I was just in my 20s at the university and Fresno State University, and I was just in a hypnotic state with the splendor and magnificence of this music. And it's definitely a unique harmonic language that he develops, and I wish you well with this barcarolle. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.